doing the wellness program as well. So yeah, it's all good with me. David?
Cool. Hello, everybody. I'm anxious. I got this anxiety sitting in my stomach here. I've been very busy recently. I think I'm a bit manic.
Doing the wellness program as well. So
Right there, it's coming together. We're setting things up. Yeah, so where am I at? Yeah, I'm excited and nervous. So it's like, fuck, it's all going off. But yeah. Right, let's see. Let's read the pre-recording announcement. All right, Olivia, you can read that. Hang on a second. Let me just share the screen. So this is just while we're here. Can you see that, Olivia?
one moment. Yeah. Before we begin recording, I want to make sure everyone is aware and comfortable. This session is being streamed and recorded as part of our UAC Lero's mission to build recovery capital and challenge stigma. Your personal safety and comfort come first. If any time you would like your contribution or the recording deleted, please say so, and it will be removed without question. Please remember to take personal responsibility for what you share. This is an adult learning environment, not therapy, mutual aid, or faith-based organisation. If you're happy to proceed, please give me a verbal yes or use the chat to confirm your consent to the recording.
Yes, I can.
Verbal yes.
Yeah, a verbal one.
A verbal one from me too. Right. So I always get nervous when new people join because I think, oh, fuck, do I really know what I'm talking about? So just to give you an idea of the training, yeah. So first of all, people can come and kind of try before you buy. That's the first thing. And there are 5 modules. Yeah. There's the coaching conversation. There's the continuums. There's the system. There's the leadership model, and then there's the container. Yeah. And what we're doing now is we're building the container and starting to create the environment to have coaching conversations that are strengths-based, which are solutions-focused, and sit in the place of wellness. Yeah. And the training's about taking your lived experience, yep, and professionalizing it in a way that if you choose to go out there and get paid as a professional for your lived experience, you're able to marry the two up. Yeah. And there are 3 ways that we do this. So we have the theory, we have the practice, and then we have the process. And these 2 hours is the process. So this is us working it out, making it up as we go along, see what comes in, what doesn't, and to work with the chaos, crisis, and conflict that happens in a culture of adversity or a culture of addiction. Yeah?
Yep.
So this is the process part. And if you want to get certified, you need to do 20 of these, which makes 40 hours. You need to do 60 hours of coaching, 10 hours of being coached yourself, and 50 hours of giving coaching. And yeah, and there's a bit more. So I'm not going to go into that too much because it's going to be all fucking overwhelming and I don't want that. Yeah. And Ross has just joined us. Ross, you want to check in, mate?
Yeah. Hello, everybody. Checking in. All right. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Too bad. Not too bad, thanks.
All right. So what number class is this for you, Ross?
I've not been counting. I should count really. But I'd say it's probably around 15.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I'm guessing that's a guess. I'll have to count now. I'll have a count and find out.
Okay, well, it's all right. So Michelle's just joined us. She's come here via Marcus. Yep. So we're just kind of welcoming her and orientating her. Olivia's been here a while, then you, Ross, and Michelle. So the first thing around this learning environment is people jump in wherever. So it's not like a university that starts in September and finishes in June. It starts when you come in. Yeah. So that's one thing that makes us a bit different. Yeah. And even though there's a curriculum, we don't really follow it. Shit, I'm gonna have to take this quickly.
Okay. Michelle, do you want to tell us a little bit about you, what you've done, what you've been?
Yeah. Where my interest for supporting people comes from, I was brought up by functioning alcoholics and lived in a pub. I had my own set of, I was always in and out of hospital, so I missed a lot of schooling. I took drugs when I was younger. I don't even really take paracetamol. I'm probably the other end of the spectrum now. I've always worked within homeless settings, drug addiction, yeah, quite entrenched. I deal with what they would maybe call the hard to reach people, people that have disengaged. Putting together support plans. I've looked after elderly, learning disabilities, but my heart is with mental health and addiction.
Okay, cool. How long do you know Marcus for?
Well, I've known Marcus for about 10 years. Our paths have
Wow.
crossed in quite a few ways. Yeah, in quite a few ways. So yeah, it's nice. I'm
Yeah,
really proud of him. He's come a long way. He's doing well.
yeah.
He told me about this. I thought, oh wow,
I want a bit of that.
exactly. Yeah, because I just find when you're trying to support people, the amount of barriers that you come up against, and you think, why even is that a barrier? And then they'll say, oh, well, you can give the support for 6 weeks, and I'm like, well, what if they need 12?
Yeah,
But sure. So yeah, I've always been a bit. I've always fought for my guys that I support. Do a team effort. And housing as well. That's mainly my background. So trying to get people housed and sustaining their tenancies, but I was always in trouble because I'd look at the person's well-being as opposed to what they're not doing and what they are doing and try and help the whole person. So I was
yeah,
forever in trouble for one reason or another, but it was always for doing too much. So I thought, well, I didn't really see it as doing too much. If you can, then why wouldn't you?
yeah.
Yeah. What's your background?
I volunteer in a drug and alcohol unit, the one that helped me recover
Brilliant.
from alcohol. So yeah, I go back there twice a week. I do smart recovery there, and I do a ketamine group there as well. So
Oh, brilliant.
and then I got well with AA, so I kind of still go to my AA meetings when I can. You know, I normally try to get at least 2 meetings. I used to go nearly every night, but then life is changing, and then things happen, but so
Yeah.
you kind of have to kind of not be. You can't be there all the time because you have to have a life as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. With the phone calls are coming in now. Where are you? Are you well?
Yeah, people
Be
do
fine.
worry, which is strange and nice.
Yeah, back off.
Yeah.
I have a
I
life.
like smart recovery.
Yeah, yeah, I like it too. I like doing it. Yeah, it's difficult sometimes when people bring in the AA bit, but
Yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah.
like the fact there's a lot of options, well, more options out there now as before. I remember when me and my friend, we were looking for a CA meeting, and the nearest one was 20 miles away. So we started doing that, but it didn't. And this is where it interested me because it didn't really help. It did in the beginning, but then after, I thought I'm not really getting anything out of this. And actually, the only time I think about cocaine is when I come here. Um, so, so I
Yeah,
thought, okay, but for
yeah.
my it really, really worked. She brought meetings to Crawley. She's now the secretary. She's really involved, and that keeps her safe.
Yeah.
So there's so many ways of recovering that not one size fits all, does it?
Yeah. I've heard that about CA because to kind of glamorize it in the room, don't they? Or that's what
Yeah, they
I've
do.
been told.
Yeah, they do. And then you think they almost remind you of some of the good times, and you think that's not really, you come out of there thinking, did I actually just hear that? And sometimes you need to talk about the other side of it. That's why I like smart recovery. Like, so what we do in moving on for the rest of your life, what is your plan? Because I think
Yeah.
sometimes people are so, I've got to give this up, that they don't think they know what they've got to give up, but they don't know what they're going to do instead.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's tough.
Ross, do you want to share and tell us a little bit about you? You're on mute.
Every time, no, that
Yeah.
every time. I'm a chef, but yeah, I've had my problems with addiction, mental health, and things, and yeah, that's why I'm here today. Basically, trying to form a bit of a new career and just have a bit more of a purposeful future, really. Looking for a new career and trying to fit it in around my family and things like that, which would be nice. Because chefing's not no life fitting it around your family.
Yeah.
It's a tough job. Yeah, that's why I'm here, really. Yeah. Yeah, I've been here at 12 weeks,
Oh, is it
I
12?
think, because yeah, well, it would have been 14, but last week was off. And there was 1 week when I first started that was cancelled too. So yeah, 12 feels like forever.
Yeah. Well, I started in October last year. No,
Did you?
September last year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
No, but it's nice though. It's not like David said, if you do miss a week or whatever, something pops up, it's not as if you're
yeah.
tied down to it. It's a good way of learning. Yeah.
Does anybody want to talk about anything today? I'm taking over it.
Doing very well.
Because
Yeah.
Dave is not here, so someone's got to do it.
Yeah.
Has anybody got something to talk about or wants to talk about anything today?
No, I'm just here finding my feet, how I can fit in with you guys.
Ross, can you think of anything to discuss today?
Not really, no. No, not off the top of my head. No. There's usually like 6 people, more
Yeah,
people here than
more talkative than me and you.
yeah, exactly. People have got a lot more to say.
Both the quiet ones just sit, and then we get
Yeah,
David
we
kind
are the
of
quiet ones for sure,
yeah. And David starts pointing questions at us because we're too quiet.
yeah. I know.
Are you going to do after the 20 hours? Are you going to do the next lot, Ross?
Well, yeah, I need to try and organize like my coaching. So my girlfriend said she would be coached by me, and then I've not really approached anybody about it, to be honest. Kind of just been going along with the Tuesdays and doing my few hours and a bit of theory and whatnot. But I really need to get on with the coaching hours so I can get like match up my time with actual theory, because
Yeah,
I would have finished the theory and finished these calls and then have no coaching. So it's like let's run it alongside each other. Just do a few hours a week with people. I think
yeah.
it'll soon add up. It just feels
Mhm.
quite daunting, doesn't it? Though, like approaching people and
It's
doing your
trying to
20
get
hours.
people. Yeah, I done my counselling course, and I had to do 2 sessions with a family member or a friend or something like that, just like a scenario between the two of us. Oh, the hassle I got to get people to do with me was just like they're going, "We'll have to be seen." I'm just like, it's only 10 minutes, and I've written everything out for you. All you got to do is like just read it, know what you're going to ask for me, and then just pretend that you're like
Help me
really,
out.
yeah, just pretend that you're like really suffering from some sort of like problem, and I'll just like cancel you. It's like, oh God. So yeah. And my daughter's like, yeah, we'll do it. Yeah, we'll do it. Nah, don't do it. I haven't got time now, Mum. Got to go. As soon as I mentioned it, got to go now.
Did you do a
Yeah.
counselling course at a college, or did you do it on an online platform?
I done level 2 and level 3 online, so I'm looking to do level 4, but I think I might have to repeat level 3 in person because not many colleges are taking people to do it online.
Ah,
But I've been stressing with them that I do group works, like when I go to like Smart and I go to facilitate these groups, I am kind of, interacting with people, and I'm doing all the thing apart from like counselling, if it makes sense. So some of them are discussing it, and I've got a few interviews to come up. But other ones are just like to just say no. And I was like, I've spent the last 3 years studying this, and you want me to go and redo it all again
that's not
just to
fair.
say I was in the classroom? It's just like, are you freaking joking me?
Ah,
It's like you're fighting and losing battle all the time. It's like even like being lived experience, going in for a job, they go, yeah, we want lived experience, but unless you have a certificate or unless you have any proof about you've like studied something, nobody wants to know you. It's just like what?
it's bad, isn't it? And you think I've got life experience from the school of life.
Yeah,
Mm.
but they always put that in their applications, like in their like saying like lived experience, da, 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 and then yeah, it's just like yeah,
I think the best people well, some of the best um, people I've met in the recovery in like industry or circle, whatever you want to call it, that line of work, has definitely been, the people with lived experience that have then gone on to get a job in recovery and help people. It
mm,
definitely makes a massive difference whether they've been qualified or not.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah,
People seem to prefer lived experience. When I worked at the homeless hostels, they were like, "Oh, I don't want to speak to," there were certain members of staff that they were like, "Oh, they don't understand," and it's like, yeah, you're
yeah.
probably right.
Yeah, when
Yeah.
I do my like smart and I do my Ketman class, like I don't overshare all the time, but if something comes up, I will. And then new clients, you can see their faces. They look at me and go, "Well, yeah, I'm in recovery. I was like
Yeah,
you. I was just there." And
and then
then
they want to hear your voice,
yeah,
don't
and
you?
then everything, and they're like really engaged in it. Then.
Yeah,
So that's like you can see it straight away as soon as you say, "Yeah, I'm in recovery." You know.
and it's telling them straight away without even saying the words that it is possible.
Mm.
Because I think there's no worse feeling than feeling stuck.
Yeah, about 2 weeks
Mm.
ago, a male person came in. He walked in, and I went, "Fuck, I know him. I was like, I know all about him. I know all his life. I know everything about him." I was like, "Oh my God." And I was like, "Oh, what are you doing here?" All surprised,
Fancy seeing
knowing
you.
that, yeah, finally. And then everybody was just watching us constantly talking, like they were trying to see did anything happen between us. And then at the end of it, he just went, "I just want to say something. Me and Olivia have never got on." And I was like, "Too much information." It's like, leave it. Nobody wants to know that. But yeah, it's like, yeah, I found that quite like really kind of surreal. I was like, I don't know how to kind of. He's telling stories and telling like what he's doing. And I'm thinking in my head, yeah, I know, yeah, I know,
Yeah, you're like,
yeah,
oh, you've missed that bit.
yeah, yeah. But he's doing really well actually. He hasn't. He's been off his drug of choice since about 4 weeks now.
Oh,
So
wow.
he's done, yeah, after 30 years cocaine.
Oh,
So
wow. That's
yeah,
amazing.
yeah,
That
he's
is
got
amazing.
twins. He's got twins coming in August, so he needs to sort his shit out. You know.
Oh, there's a good
Yeah,
to sing as any twins, eh? Double trouble.
yeah, two girls as well.
Hope
Oh.
he's ready.
He's got two older kids that, like, when I knew more with the older kids, and then they split up, and he moved on with somebody else, and now she's having twins. So,
Ah,
yeah,
sounds like a happy ending could be on the horizon there.
hopefully. Yeah, hopefully. Mm.
And where the rest of them are then? People
Pardon?
come and go. You kind of, in this call, you kind of get like, not attached to people, but you just kind of get comfortable with
Mm.
who's the faces that are some in here, and then the new people come, don't they?
Yeah.
You
We haven't
know,
seen Anthony for a while, have we? Since he
Anthony.
said about changing his medication.
Yeah, good point. Don't know what he's up to.
Mm.
Treven. There's people from all over the world, Michelle. It's like a cultural melting pot. This call on a Tuesday.
Brilliant.
African people,
Are you guys in the
people from
UK?
Thailand.
Oh, wow. Are you in the UK?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm in the UK. I'm in Gloucester,
Oh, okay. I'm just by Gatwick Airport in Sussex.
Yeah.
in Sussex. Oh, okay, yeah. I
Yeah.
think that's the closest airport to me. I think main big airport, that London one on that side. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
I'm from Kent.
Oh, okay. I like. I
That
used to
is
work
London,
for-
Kent. That's what they call it.
Yeah, yeah. I used to
That's
work.
the other side of London, isn't it?
The
On the other
serious
side.
side. The safer side. No, it's got places that are not safe as well. So yeah,
Yeah,
like everywhere, you know.
yeah.
Um, yeah, I want to move further out though. I want to move more into the country. I think my Irishness is coming back on me, and I want to move back out there. Like when I was
Pick when
18,
you
I was like,
engage.
get me out of this place. It's too small. Like everybody knows your business. And now I go
Oh,
home and I'm like, oh, this is so chilled and relaxed.
yeah.
No.
No neighbours for a good 25 minutes would be nice.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
would like a little house and with a bigger bit of land, so it's less cleaning.
Yeah. All you can see is
Mm,
cows and sheep and whatever. Yeah.
yeah.
It's really, really
Lots of land, small house. That's my goal in life.
mm,
Loads of land, tiny little house.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the dream.
Mm.
Mm. I go to Rome in a couple of weeks' time. I'm looking forward to that.
Oh,
Yeah, go with my girls. It was my daughter's 21st in December and we booked a trip away. So
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
that's going to be exciting, isn't it?
That's
Yeah,
good.
if I don't end up killing them. Or they kill me.
Same in this house.
Yeah.
how many kids have you got?
I've got two boys. My eldest is 22, and my youngest has just turned 15.
Oh yeah, two boys. You said,
Yeah.
yeah. And you, Olivia, have two girls, is it?
Two girls, 21, 28, and then I've got an 8-year-old son.
Oh,
Ah.
21, 28, and 8.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
What about
nice.
you? Have you got kids?
I got a baby, yeah. I got daughter. One, she's about 14 weeks now, I think.
Oh, bless her.
Yeah. Yeah, she's good.
Learnt to speak through yet?
She's not really, no. She kind of wakes up once and then sleeps through the rest.
Oh, that's not
But
too bad. Mine had been up
no,
at
she's not too bad.
4.
She's pretty easy to be honest with you. You hear some horror stories and we've not really touched wood.
They will
It's not been a
come.
horror
You
story
know that
for us.
word, the Yets?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And are you having another one? Because you never get two the same.
yeah. Yeah, I don't know if we're having another one. Just shit. I think we're just gonna sit on the idea for a while. But
Yeah, I've got a 7-year age gap with mine. I understand that.
Yeah.
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 Did
Yeah, I
you
think
always want a few kids or was it just
Well, I did want 4, and then I had my eldest, and I thought, oh, I'll have 3. And then then I had Louis, and I thought, you know what? I think 2's enough. And luckily, my eldest got has been diagnosed with autism, and then my youngest last week was diagnosed with autism. So actually, it was the right decision because my boys needed a bit more time when they were younger, and I wouldn't have had the time.
Yeah.
Well, I would have had to try and make it, but it would have been stressful.
Yeah.
Yeah. So probably a blessing in disguise, really.
Yeah, I
But
almost
yeah.
feel like autism's their blessing in disguise as well, because now that we've sorted school out and all the problems because they didn't fit into their system, we found, like, I pulled my youngest out to homeschool for a year, and now he's in college doing animal care, his maths and his
Lovely.
English, and he's getting distinctions, and I can't wait to go into these old school to go and let them know because they're basically ripping him off.
Mm. How long did it take for you to get him tested?
He's 14. Oh, there's been a lot of toing and froing.
Yeah.
And then when I finally went to the doctors and was with a little bit of the hump, they put me through on the pathway. So from then on, it was 12 weeks. It was like all their stress for years, and then you say, "Oh, we can
Mm.
do it in 12 weeks." It's like, right, okay, thank you.
Mm.
Mm.
Well, there's a will, there's a way. They can definitely get you an appointment if they really, really need to,
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what I think anyway.
Well, when my son went to his dad's, he was 4.5 when my addiction took off. Well, at the end of my addiction, and I was quite ill, so it was the best decision for him at the time. But like because of his behaviour when he moved in with his dad got him, his dad brought him to a psychiatrist up in London to get tested for everything. And she diagnosed him with ADHD, autism, and something else. And I said to my solicitor, I was like, for one, I'm a childminder, so I know I've seen children, like, it doesn't happen that quickly. There's a room full of people that need to kind of make that decision as well. It's like not just one psychiatrist. It's
yeah,
like they need to speak to mom, dad, the teachers,
yeah.
send people. There's a big group of people. So you've just paid 500 quid or whatever in Harley Street, and
Just
and
bought his
got
diagnosis.
yeah, and there's nothing wrong with him. What was wrong with him was like the change in been living with me for so long and then moved to his dad, which was full-time daddy at the weekend, which could get away with murder, to daddy having to tell him,
Yeah,
you've got to go to bed, you've got to do this, you've got to do that. And he was like rebelling against it,
yeah,
obviously. Like
yeah.
you can see it. You can, if you just step out of it, you can just see it. And I'm just like, oh God. But
You
yeah,
got
he's
to, haven't you?
yeah. I think because he couldn't control him, he had to give him a title or something.
That's what I hate, because the only reason I've gone through it with my second child is just for the extra time in exams.
Mm,
But actually, and I tell my kids all the time, just because you don't fit into the school regime doesn't mean there's anything necessarily wrong with you.
yeah.
You can communicate, you can do everything yourself, you can have your own ideas, you can keep yourself safe. Just because you think different, if they wish to stick a label on it, then that they can. But it was mainly just for the extra time on his exam, so he's got more time to process stuff.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have bothered.
Mm.
It's
David, do
hard.
you want to come back in again?
That was an uncomfortable call.
Yeah, you looked very stressed.
Huh?
You look really
Yeah. I
stressed.
always get anxious when universal credit phone or things like that. It's like, oh my God, so I all of a sudden I feel like it's like going through customs. I always think I've done something wrong and I'm going to get pulled over or something. And apparently I had an appointment which I never knew about. So the first thing is it's an 0800 number, and then I know, oh, okay, well that's I thought it was the hospital for oh, my seizures. Anyway, so that's wow, that set me into the stress zone. So I'm thinking, oh my God, there are people here on the call. What's happening? Blah blah blah. But you got it, huh? You got it. What have you been talking about? What's the agenda?
Just asked Michelle about what's her kind of experience and stuff like that. Then I explained mine. Ross explained his. Then we started speaking about schools and children and labels and autism.
Yeah, that really triggers me. That really triggers me, that one. Because my ex-wife was convinced my son had ADD and all that sort of stuff, and he was put on all these psych meds, and I was convinced he wasn't, because I've been looking at him with my neurodivergent brain going, well, he's fucking normal. But apparently I'm not normal. So I don't know, but it does trigger me.
Yeah.
Luke
Yes.
is my youngest kid, and the trouble is, mine and my ex-wife's relationship dynamics play out through him.
Hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah, that's why I was saying with my son when his dad started having him full time, he took him to a psychiatrist in London because he couldn't control his behaviour at home, and that psychiatrist said that he's got ADHD, he's autistic, and he's got another thing as well, and I was like, she can't make that judgment and just meeting Kian once. Like not having me involved, not having the teachers involved, not having social workers involved. It's like a load of people make this decision, not one person that you just pay to give you that piece of paper. And I was saying, like, because of what happened with Keaton, he was living with me full time, and then he's gone to live with dad, and dad was only having him at weekends. So at the weekends, daddy was fun time daddy. He was like, there's no limit, bedtime limits and stuff like that. So then when he started having him for school times and stuff like that, there was more structure. And obviously Keane's rebelling, and like Andy thinks there's something wrong with him. It's like he's been taken from his mom, his two sisters. It's like his whole life is turned upside down. He is going to lash out, but the school doesn't say he has it. It's just that psychiatrist. It's crazy.
Yeah, we all agreed that we didn't really like the labels.
The thing is,
Yeah.
if he had, that's fine. It's like, I'll learn new skills. Well, I actually done an ADHD awareness course, just so be aware of things.
So
But
we're here to learn about recovery coaching, yeah? And we're here to learn about how our lived experience can benefit somebody else. So how do you think having a label or a diagnosis can help or hinder the relationship that you're building with someone?
Right, I think it can help because you can have an understanding. And the biggest thing that I've noticed, and the only plus I can really find, is that you get access to other services should you need them. But then I found when I went to the services, especially with autism, there's such a broad range of the spectrum that everywhere we went, my son used to say to me, "Mum, why have you brought me here? I'm not like these kids." So there just wasn't anywhere. And on the downside, I work in a mental health setting, and people hang on to these diagnoses like it defines them, and it puts a lot of barriers where they think they can't do stuff, and oh, I can't because I've got this, and you think, well, no, it's just
can anybody hear Lorraine? I can't hear her.
We lost you for a second there.
Oh, sorry.
There we go, you're back.
Oh, yeah, I just was a bit annoyed that the schools were trying to pin it on my son, like my son was the problem because he didn't fit into their regime, and they didn't try anything else. So I took him out, homeschooled. Now he's in college and he's getting distinctions on his coursework. So it's just his environment. my belief is that the environment is a lot of our behaviour. So if you get the environment right, then you give the person the chance to flourish.
Okay, let's hear from Ross. You're going to say something, Ross?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think, it's something to be used. When you can relate to people, you can kind of maybe get more out of them, and they can get more out of you, and you can give more to them. I just think it's kind of like not as easy as just relating to somebody. So to use your lived experience is great, but I think maybe just that alone isn't enough, you know. Yeah.
So you're seeing someone, they really build rapport with you, and their partner wants them to go and see a professional that's got like a medical professional, a doctor or something like this, psychologist. Yep, and they don't want to do that. What are you going to do?
I mean, depends if they're asking for your advice or not, I suppose. Do you mean if you've got a client and their like wife, for example, is wanting to go and seek medical attention, probably just to leave them to it, probably.
So
Not really.
yeah, I'll give you a scenario. I met this guy. Yep. The first thing he said to me, he says, "I want coaching, but you mustn't tell my wife anything." And he was a problem gambler. Yeah. So
Mm,
I spoke to him about recovery, and he didn't want to go to Gamblers Anonymous or anything like that. He just wanted to talk to me. Yeah. And try some controlled gambling. So we set up a conversation around controlled gambling, and of course he won, and he was doing all right. And then his wife phoned the social worker at the place I was working. Yep. And said, "What's David doing? What rights he got to do all this sort of stuff?" And then started to have a go at me about it. Yep. And then I found myself being split between building a coaching relationship with the person, yeah, understanding what they wanted, yeah, and then the wife making a judgment that the social worker knows better. And I had to then manage my professional relationship with the social worker. Does that make sense to everyone?
Yeah. I think if that was me, the person that I'm supporting, it's all about them and their ideas, and you were trying something. So for me, it would be about what they wanted, and then as we went down the road and we tried this controlled gambling, and there's some other things that we tried. If that then didn't, he was still in the same situation. I might say to him, maybe is it something you would want to consider? Because it's up to him, his like journey of recovery, and not
So
up to his.
that's a great answer. Yeah. It's but the one thing is that the coaching relationships are short relationships, so 6 to 12 sessions or something.
Right.
And if you don't see progress, then you kind of say, "Listen, we contracted for this. This is what's happening. You're either deteriorating, yeah, you're either moving towards premature death, or you're moving towards high well-being." And what happened in this particular case is around the fourth session, the fifth session, he came to me and said, "You know what? I've realized it doesn't matter whether I win or lose at the casino. I just like being in the casino. I don't want to go home." And then he kind of realized that he had a relationship problem, yeah, which he wasn't addressing directly. And then at the fifth session or the sixth session, the last one, his words to me were, "You fucking tricked me. Now you've made me want to go to GA." Yeah, which I hadn't done. I just walked with him on that journey, and then,
Yeah,
and what I like about that case study is it's drink and drugs aren't involved. So a lot of people have a lot of opinions around substance abuse or substance misuse. When it comes to gambling, not so much. Uh, that doesn't mean there's not a lot of ignorance around it, but the substance abuse treatment industry's been around a long time, and there are a lot of professionals there in their roles, and there's a lot of people there that have 12-step experience and complete abstinence experience, and are very strong in their opinion of what this is what you need to do. Yeah. So it's one thing where everyone's got an opinion. God, I'm still so nervous from that call. I've still got this anxiety knot sitting in my stomach. Ah, it's terrible that's. And I get it with coaching. I get it with coaching. I get it with people coming and saying, "What are your qualifications? Who are you? You're a fraud. This is just paid sponsorship. Who do you think you are?" Blah blah blah. It's something that I need to manage, because on the other side of it, it adds a lot of value, and there's a whole lot of evidence that this work works, and there's a lot of focus around it. So if you line it with like UK government recommendations and lived experience, people are going saying, yeah, we'll give money as long as there's lived experience. So now what's happening is there's a whole lot of institutions that are looking for people with a label of lived experience, yeah, because they've got to fill requirements for contracts. And then if you bring a whole lot of people with lived experience to run an organization and there's no training there or understanding, then it's like the lunatics are taking over the asylum. So it's a thing.
yeah, we have that problem where I work. We have lived experience, but I've been raising it with my manager because they need the guys need to be nurtured maybe more. They need more one-to-one. They need
How are you
support.
finding this course, Michelle?
Oh, I like it.
Yeah, what do you like about it?
I like the open conversations and that it's a break from the norm rather than trying to put my thinking into their boxes, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I've always seen a gap in recovery, and I feel like this plugs it and goes a long way to supporting people the other side, which for me is where they're vulnerable and where I've seen people slip up.
What have you learned from the first 45 minutes?
I've learned that lived experience is the best pool of knowledge that you can draw from, and that people's own experiences are a lot of the time in recovery worth more than a university degree.
Okay. And what did Olivia do well?
Oh, she made me feel welcome. I wasn't nervous. Yeah, shared her experiences, let me in a little bit, made me feel welcome, was interested in what I had to say. And we've got a common, you can just feel that there's that common, that everybody wants the same thing for people that are in recovery or currently using, just to, yeah, I suppose you'd call it a love in the room.
Ross, what do you want to say?
You're on mute.
Mm-hmm. No, I wasn't going to say anything.
Okay. All right. And what have you learned about Ross, Michelle?
That he's a chef, that he's got a 14-week-old baby, and that he wants to do a change of career. He's done 12 sessions and he's missed 2.
Well, I actually didn't miss 2 because the 2 were cancelled. I actually showed up last
one
week.
was cancelled.
Oh.
And then the second one I remember that was cancelled. It was a training day for something else. Something else. So I would have done 14 weeks, but it's actually 12. Yeah.
Okay, great. Great.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Olivia and Ross, what have you both learnt in this 50 minutes now?
Well, it's something that I've already kind of always felt, like in my opinion, this is that addiction is addiction, whether it's heroin, gambling, or you know, um, anything that's in my view, my from my personal experience is anything that instantly gratifying. I mean, you can take it to the extreme if you really want to, but I think instantly gratifying sort of habits, negative or positive, is kind of an addiction for me personally. And I see it in a lot of people as well, you know. Um, so with regards to what you said about other people's family members sort of chipping in to the coaching journey and that process, we're kind of leaning towards that. That's what I've learned is that people will always have like their say on a certain process, but not necessarily take the time to kind of like view the whole process and take the time to just take time and follow it and get the results. So yeah, that's what I've learned.
David,
Olivia?
so I was going to ask a question, David. When that happened, that scenario, that work thing that happened, um, did you kind of have to say, I'm coaching this guy, not the wife? So I'm doing the role with the coach, like the coachee.
Mm.
Did you put them boundaries in, like with the social worker as well?
So I had to well, I mean the me and the social worker understood our roles and our scope of practice, and we worked well together. Yeah. So she understood my role, but she still just had to come and check. Yeah. And then I just state my case. Well, this is the situation. I've been asked by the coachee. The most important thing was, can I trust you? Don't tell my wife anything. Yeah.
Mm.
So if I'd broken that contract, yeah, that would have impacted the coaching relationship, as it would have impacted the therapeutic relationship that he had with other peoples. It would have impacted the relationship that the wife had with the social worker. It becomes a systemic problem.
Mm.
And the system is exactly where you are, Ross. In the 12 weeks, you're in the heart of learning about the system.
Mm.
Yeah. So one person's behavior impacts everyone around you. Yeah. So, so, and as coaches, we sit in the middle of the system. Yeah. And everyone projects everything onto us. So you're not qualified enough if you work with professionals. Yeah, if you work with substance users, then you are the best person. You're the best thing since sliced bread because you understand. And then the family members think, "Oh my God, this person's just like them." And yeah, I've been telling them this stuff for years, and they never listened, and they just so it becomes complex. Yeah.
Mm.
And as coaches, when we're in a systemic role, we're trying to shift the culture of the system from adversity to resilience or recovery. And Ross, you're absolutely right. Addiction is it actually the word, what's it when you look at the history of a word? Epistemology. Is it epistemology or something like
The
that?
new one to me, David.
So in the break, look up the history of the word addiction. And I think you'll see it comes from Latin and Greek, and it means to be indebted to something. I think it came around money. Yeah. and then it grew into verslaafde, which means to be enslaved to something. And then certainly with substance use disorder, you're enslaved to the substance. But you can get people enslaved to their jobs, yeah, and their home life is terrible. They get enslaved to gambling, to you know, to vanity, to all sorts of things.
Yeah. Interesting. I just read up on that word. I couldn't wait for the break.
Okay, cool. Well, let's have a break now. Let's have a 10-minute break. Yeah,
Yeah.
get a coffee. Hopefully my nerves will settle.
Mhm.
And yeah, so I've hung up my laundry. I've had Universal Credit phone me, and yeah, my anxieties are off the charts.
I think Universal Credit know they do that to people, don't they? It's quite a brash system.
Well,
Mm.
it's a fucking great system here in the UK. You know, I mean, I got into mental health crisis, what, like almost 2 years ago, and I needed help, and I put my hand up and said, "Fuck, I need help," and the system came and helped me. Yeah,
That's good.
and yeah, but like to your point as well, there comes a time when you need to move on. Yeah, but there's also part of me that goes, "Oh fuck, I don't want to move on. I'm fucking scared." Yeah,
Yeah,
I actually quite like, not worrying about a place to stay and doing what I love doing, which is this stuff. But the other side of it is, yeah, we'll talk about it after the break.
see you in 10.
Cool. Where is everyone? But you're just sitting there in the dark.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't even move. I've just been on my phone the whole time.
Yeah, me too.
I was waiting for someone to come back. All right, Ross, build the container.
Yeah, I'm all right. It's nice to see a new person, Michelle. Welcome her into the group.
Thank you.
And yeah, I'm doing good. I'll pass on to Olivia.
Thanks, Mark. Ross, sorry. Yeah, I'm feeling tired. I've been up since 6, so I'm like, at the moment, I think the dip is happening there. Yeah, so apart from that, everything's okay. And I tagged Michelle.
And yeah, my nerves have settled. Thank you to you guys. Yeah, I'm feeling positive.
Right. Well, I sent universal credit by fucking bank statement, so that's kind of out the way. Yeah, I like to jump on top of things when it's there. It's like, fuck, I've got nothing to hide, but I still have that trauma, I think, just of like, the power that organizations have. So like, yeah. Anyway, I take him a joy. It's nice to see you all. These calls are never how I think they are. I really thought today's call was going to be different. I was so excited, and then this kind of first of all, I wasn't expecting you, Michelle, which is great, which is fine that you're here. And then to like have to go off and do that crisis, it was like, oh God, okay. And then Olivia, you jumped in and held the container wonderfully. Yeah. And yeah. And Ross, I think you're very dedicated to this, huh?
Yeah, well, yeah, I felt like I had to be, and I think like committing to a Tuesday. I know I've not got any work, I don't do any work on a Tuesday. It's my day to do this and whatever else, basically. So yeah, it's nice. Like I think for me as well, kind of personal on a personal level, having something quite repetitive and on a Tuesday at 10. It's not like it's on a Tuesday any time on a Tuesday. It's like Tuesday at 10 and I need to be there this time, show up and
Structure's
yeah,
very important, huh?
structure, yeah, massively. Yeah, structure's huge. Yeah. So the structure for me really helps me out.
So did you look up the word?
Yeah, I got the meaning here. Interesting how words evolve and where all these words come from.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Like I
But
haven't got the bandwidth for this conversation. When did bandwidth become an emotional mental state?
yeah, good point. Yeah, but why did we stop using these words? Why has 20 words come out of one word? Why has it all got so complicated?
So let's hear what it says. Tell us the history.
Okay. The word of addiction has evolved from ancient Roman legal terms for debt enslavement to a modern medical concept shifting from a general sense of devotion to a specific stigmatized state of compulsion rooted in adikir, and that's another Roman word. It initially meant to be delivered or bound to another, later becoming a disease of the will in the 19th and 20th centuries. And then there's loads more information about the myth of Addictus. I'm guessing that's a god of addiction or whatever. Yeah, there's loads of.
Isn't it
Yeah,
fantastic how
stuff
much we can find out, huh?
in seconds.
In seconds, all this information. And there's so much misinformation out there.
Mm. But you can take a lot from that, from the word
A
addiction. I just
lot.
thought addiction was addiction. I didn't know there was a whole story behind it, but it's actually, when you read it and think about it, it's, stigmatized compulsion. That really hit home for me. Compulsion, a devotion. We've been devoted to cocaine. It's embarrassing, really, but whatever. Compulsion, compulsive behavior.
So,
Interesting. I'm going to really look into this and
so
beat
Ross,
myself up a little bit more.
you've just had you and your wife have just had a baby, huh?
Yeah,
First
she's
child.
actually first,
Okay.
first and last.
Would you say she's addicted to her child?
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, yeah,
Devoted, huh?
yeah. Devoted. Yeah. Mm.
Yeah. So apparently I've never given birth. I might look like I should, but I haven't. But there's such a transformation that happens for the female psyche. Yep. Michelle, do you have you got children?
Yeah, I've got two.
Yeah, okay. And Olivia, I know you have. And a relationship will be a husband and wife. Yep. Then the wife will give birth, and now both the relationship changes to a father and mother, and the whole dynamics of that relationship change. And there's such a biological, chemical experience, particularly for the mother, yeah, that there's a new personality that really comes home from the hospital. Yeah. And a lot of relationships really struggle with the change and the transition. And personally, I think in society, the men that go from husbands to fathers, yeah, there's very little support for them. It's just like, oh, well, you stand outside the room and you smoke a cigar and you let them get on with it. Or nowadays, like the men are kind of present, but certainly when I was present, I was still detached. It was like there was this thing going on for my wife. I wanted to be there, but there was definitely part of me that just wasn't getting it. And the intensity that she was going through, yeah, and the challenge of the relationship afterwards, I think has a huge impact in the world that we don't really talk about. But I think there the devotion of addiction is wired into us for human survival.
Mm.
And when I was waking up in the morning and all I had to do was score, I was devoted. I had a mission, I had a purpose, I had reason to live. All I had to do was, that's all I had to do.
Mm.
Hustle and fucking duck and dive and get creative. And I was caught up and was devoted.
Mm.
And then I became devoted to recovery.
Mm.
But I'm still an obsessive maniac. Do you know what I mean? There's a big part of my personality that goes, ah. So Olivia and Michelle, I want to step cautiously into the world of the feminine. Is there anything I said resonate? Make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense. I think another reason for it is because the woman actually goes through the physical changes, and I think that, and I think yeah, I think that makes it a bit more difficult for a man because it's not. You can see it happening to the woman, and you know that you've got this new baby coming. But for the woman, we go through the changes on the journey, as I think for a guy, It's wife's pregnant, then you go through the pregnancy and then there's a baby. I don't think emotionally women, I think, are maybe more emotionally set up for that, and I think a lot of it hits men a lot harder because they haven't had I know what I'm trying to say. They
No,
haven't had the
I
nurturing
can
bit
understand what you're saying.
beforehand. And like your
I can
wife can
understand
say,
what
"Oh,
you're
I've
saying.
got back pain, I've got this," but it's not. It's actually experiencing it, isn't it?
So I think in this heteronormative society that we live in under the patriarchal lens, yeah, you're absolutely right. But I mean, if you just think about it, a fucking soul is passing through your body. Yep. You're actually fucking life is passing through you. You know? Men just kind of sit on the outside and go, what the fuck's going on? Jeez, I'm trying to be supportive and it doesn't matter what I do, it's just not fucking working. Yeah. And I know for me, when I hear the baby cry, I get into a panic. I want to fucking do something. And I don't know what to do, and I get overwhelmed and da 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 da. How's it going, Ross? I mean, 14 weeks.
Yeah, no, like it's definitely a journey, Like went on a journey to get to where we are, lost a few babies,
Oh, mate, I
blessed
hear
with
that.
this one. Yeah, this was like I think this is not like the sixth time lucky or seventh time.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
Wow.
So
Fuck, I want to
yeah,
burst into
so
tears. I'm sorry, mate.
it's all right, man. Thanks, I appreciate it. But it kind of it hit home even more, It kind of like for us, the journey was more than just having a baby. People get pregnant, have a baby. For us, it was like get pregnant, right, of 4 weeks pregnant, 5, 6, 7, and it's gone. And it's like for like 2 years we've kind of felt pregnant, and then we had a baby. Because it's been like a big, long process for us.
So, Ross,
But for yeah,
Ross, can we just pause a second? Just for one
yeah,
second, yeah? I've got so much fucking tears inside my body at the moment. Yeah, I just want to acknowledge, like, fuck, when you say, "Oh, this has been a journey 6 times," I just want to kind of, if it's all right, just to give it a bit of space and just to acknowledge, like, fuck, mate.
hmm it is a big thing. Like when I was in that moment, like I wasn't really emotional about it, but
Oh, there we go. Can
I
we
was
get?
just
There we
supporting.
go. There we go.
Yeah, I was just supporting like Jess. You know what I mean? I was like just the support. Do you know what I mean? And didn't really, didn't really like. I didn't really understand the value of it. I'm not gonna lie. It sounds horrible, but I didn't really understand the value of it as much as I do now. I think, God, if those babies were actually here now, like, where are they? Like, what would it have been like if we had a baby 2 years ago and 3 years ago or whatever, whenever we started? Yeah, you look back and you think, wow, like such a blessing to have this baby, and you're looking after her, and everything's so small, little fingers and
Mm.
little ears, and like you say, they start crying. You think, you go through the process, have a smell of the nappy. No, the nappy doesn't smell like you only had food an hour ago. She can't be hungry just yet. And you're like just trying to rock this baby that's just screaming, and knowing that it's tired, and knowing that like in 10, 20 minutes she'll be asleep. But through the whole 10, 20 minutes, you're thinking, is something wrong? Am I going to regret not checking the nappy again? Am I not going to, does she need food or does she need changing? Da, 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 da. And she's just tired. But you're constantly like thinking, why is the baby crying?
The
How can I,
anxiety, huh?
yeah, what's wrong? Like, is her arm stuck in a certain place because her arms are all floppy and the legs are all floppy? And it's like, yeah, have I done something to the toe or something? It's like, no, it's just tired. Like, but it's definitely I'm not trying to take anything away from the men. Like, it is a journey, and if you are sensitive and you are in tune with your emotions, and you've got time and patience to take care of your partner, I think it definitely does take its toll. But for a woman, it's different. It's different. They have a different connection with the baby, and they have a different, I don't know, connection with their own body. Like, Michelle pointed out, just going through all this change, like all these excess skin and different shapes and curves, and even just like getting out of breath, like those little things. She's not as like agile anymore, it's kind of a bit more less fitter, you have to kind of build up to that. It's exhausting, isn't it? And all these
But you're a
different
good
things you learn
husband.
about on the way. All these different things you learn about on the way is pretty special. Like breastfeeding, the baby will only take what it needs from the woman. There's different sensors around the nipple and in the lips, and it's the signal to the woman, and I need more vitamin D or vitamin C or whatever it is going on in this connection. You won't get close to it as a man, and that's quite like, I don't know, not demoralizing, that's a bit of a strong word, but it's kind of like, your love's kind of lost a little bit. You kind of, I don't
Feel
know,
useless.
a little bit, but not
Yeah.
like in a bad way. Like it's kind of like that. If you like look at it sensibly, it's kind of like, it's hard to suck up, I suppose, but kind of just natural for that to happen. It's kind of like you got to respect that. Put your ego to one side. You can't save the day every time. As a man, you think you got the answers and you can save the day or whatever. Like, now you're a tool. You're just like you're right as a tool. You got to do this. You got to do that. You got to hang around. You got to look busy. I don't know how to explain
You
it, but
gotta hang
it's,
around and look busy. I love you,
well,
Ross.
like, if you
I'm,
don't
I'm
like,
really, that's a compliment. Yeah. I
I'm
love
just being
your
honest, like you gotta
authenticity.
like
I
just stand
love
there
it.
when
I love
there's
it.
another job to be doing. Like you can definitely be doing something else. But if you leave that room and you're not there and helping out, you just, like, you don't care. It's like you have to just be there, you have to just put your arm around the shoulder, you have to be there, you have to kind of not think too logically and be really emotionally attached to the situation. Mm.
Johann Esterhazen.
No, I've got totally the wrong person. I'm trying to link up to an audition on Zoom.
Well,
You're in the right place. You're in the right place.
Well,
So can
audition
I
you.
audition? I got to use an
yes.
American accent. How does it sound, guys? Sorry, I'm going out of it. I hope I don't
it
disturb
it
you again.
sounds
Is it a
awesome.
1960s film
So
with
it's
the
awesome.
black
Gotta
and
go
white
take my
picture?
daughter for a glass of water and a cup of coffee. Bye,
Coffee.
guys. Sorry about that,
Bye,
David.
bye,
I
Johann.
hope I don't do that to you again.
Oh, it was
Technology.
quite nice.
I'm an artist,
That's good. You're welcome, mate.
not a technologist. Bye, guys.
See ya.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye. That was a bit random.
So Johann is a stepfather of my friend Johann, who died in a car crash just over a year ago. Is it 2 years ago? Fuck, almost 2 years. No, over about 18 months ago. And then we put on a memorial service for him. Well, I wanted to put on a memorial service for him because I wanted to do something to go through the ritual of somebody dying. And there's a friend of mine that died. So we set up a Zoom meeting, and he's obviously got the old link from that time. So I knew, like, oh, okay. So that's how he got the link. But it's quite weird how on the one end of the continuum we're talking about birth and the changes of the journey, and then at the other end of the continuum there's death and the end of this journey.
Mm,
Yeah. And then all the fucking shit in between where we just fucking, I don't know about you, but I'm like that. You know,
mm.
it's
When we had the baby, a couple of hours after, about an hour or so after, I said, "Oh, Jess, do you want me to go to the takeaway and get some food?" She's, "Oh yeah, I love a chicken burger." So the takeaway is literally 10 minutes walk from the hospital, and just had a baby's literally hours old, and there's just this guy like absolutely off his face, just like KO'd outside in the hospital. It's January, outside the chicken shop down the road from the hospital. Like stepping over him to like get into the chicken shop and everyone's checking on him. I'm looking at him thinking, fuck, he was hours old one day. This guy, whatever journey he's been on, however he's ended up on this floor asleep, drunk, he was hours old one day. Whether he was loved or he wasn't loved, who knows? But I put myself into sort of his into a really weird perspective of life. I was just like, fuck, like guy was hours old one day, like cradling, getting cradled. Maybe he wasn't getting cradled, who knows? But hopefully he was loved at some stage in his life. I'm guessing. Anyway, but it's really interesting to see the stages of life that people go through. It's quite sad, I suppose, but yeah, to think like we just welcomed like a baby into the world, like so happy, like celebrating with our chicken shop burger, in the hospital, like stinking out the ward, nobody caring, like to think that this guy was that at one stage, or we've all been addicts here, or consider ourselves in that space, but I think like to one stage he was a helpless little baby, then you take on, then you start, you know, the what's his words? The compulsions start coming in and you start grabbing hold of things and you know, um it's interesting. Sorry, maybe went off track a little bit there, but it was
you're
something that I
doing
think about quite a
wonderful.
lot. Something I think about this guy, everyone cared about him, checking he was breathing and it was January, so it was cold, but life, people get the compulsions, don't they? And choose to um choose to take that sort of path in life for whatever reason. Mm.
How are you feeling now that you've shared this really intimate part of yourself with us, Ross?
A bit lighter, I think when you say sort of controversial, that's not even controversial, it's just like topic of conversation. I think people kind of don't really know how to handle it. We're not really open enough to kind of take it quite personal. Like life is quite personal for some people, but to open up, as a man, especially with two mothers in this room here, and just to be honest about like the situation, your emotions, and just to kind of be understood and not looked at as or not made out to kind of you feel like I shouldn't be kind of having those feelings. Pretty nice. Feel a lot lighter, and yeah, it's nice to kind of again live the lived experience side of things to relate to people and just to kind of be accepted is nice. Mm.
So Olivia and Michelle, yeah.
Mhm.
Ross has really just kind of he hit the word on the head, shared his own journey and his own lived experience around this. How has that impacted both of you in learning about lived experience and particularly his authenticity? How has that impacted the two of you in your
Yeah, I think it made me look back to when I had my children, and actually some of the conversations I had with my partner. I can remember once saying to him, you know, we were both tired, and I said, "Are you actually jealous of the baby?" And he looked at me and he was like, "Well, yeah, I am a bit." But then it was good that happened, because it struck up a conversation. And I think we get very stuck in the moment with children. Like Ross, you wait when your daughter's older, exactly how she is with mum, feeling that dependency and wanting her, she will be like that with you. It's like parents have a different role in each part of a child's life. Now my boys are older, I have to not fight for their time, but daddy's preference, as opposed to me when they were younger. The tables do turn. But yeah, it was really nice to hear it from a men's side, and you've been through a lot.
So it's nice. It was nice to hear his.
Yeah.
Okay, Olivia.
Yeah, it brought me back to when I had my children. My husband at the time, he was really in the moment. He was like, every time I was like having a contraction, he was like, "Should I get somebody? Should I get somebody?" Because he was just all confused. "Oh, you're in pain." Of course I'm in pain. But like when I had Kian, me and his dad weren't together, and the way into pregnancy, his dad was bringing up things like, "Oh, I bet there's something going to be wrong with the child. I bet this, I bet that." It was just like a nightmare. So we finished anyways. So I didn't allow him to come into the birthing room. I said, "When I feel that the baby's going to come, you can come in, but I don't want you hanging around all day," because I was being induced. But part of me thinks I've made him miss that bit, of his son's life. I feel a little bit guilty about that. And I think he holds that against me as well. That's the way it was at the time. But yeah, but like listening to Ross, it's like just made me think, like, I stopped him from having that experience with his first child, with his first son.
So Ross's story, yeah, Olivia, has kind of reminded you of your past and your relationship with your ex and all that. And Michelle, where you kind of went with the stories, you kind of went to the future, like, don't worry, it's about it now. This is what it's going to be like. Yeah, and
Yeah, you'll get your time.
yeah. So just as coaches, when we're sitting there and listening, yep, just to like, when someone's story triggers our stuff, yep, and when someone's story makes us want to kind of give advice around, this is what you're going to expect, yeah. So it's we got to be careful around frapping, fixing, rescuing, advising, and projecting, yeah. But to say that that doesn't happen all the time would be kind of completely dishonest. Yeah, it happens all the time. It's just being discerning when to step in and when not to. Yeah. So we're not doctors, we're not midwives, we're not, we're not social workers, we're not all that stuff, but we are mothers and fathers and people that have been impacted by the system, that have da 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 da. Yeah. And our stories. Okay. What a wonderful container.
Well, I had with my girls tonight on my fridge, just loads of little pictures of Keen on the fridge. It's quite funny, but and so one of my daughters spotted it and she was like, "Oh, we know who the favourite child is," and I was like, and I was just like, "What?" And then we've got a family group, like just the girls have a group together, and it was Mummy, and then there was a picture of me and Keen in it. And then they've changed it for them too, and it has underneath the least disliked children or something like that. And I'm just like, "What are you doing?" But it's funny that we can all laugh about it, but they're older and just taking the piss out of me. I'm like, "I love you all the same, but I love him." Yeah, I thought it was quite funny with them. We can laugh and joke about things now. It's nice.
Yeah. I kind of feel, I kind of understand what you're saying there. I've got like two really younger cousins, and they live in Australia, so my grandparents have got a really good relationship with them. And my grandparents have got iPhones and stuff, and they're like FaceTime and like constantly like sending pictures and stuff of each other when they were like really young. These like my own cousins. But it's just like that time shift. You know, when I was growing up, there was no camera phones. You
Yeah.
know, until I left school, I was like, I think 16, 17, 18 maybe, and then the camera phones kind of came in, maybe something like that. But for them, like for my younger cousins, camera phone's always been a camera phone. Got pictures of everything, you know, you know, so it's kind of like I think about that because my grandparents have got loads of pictures of my younger cousins, but not so many pictures
Yeah.
of us. Whereas the
Yeah.
logical side, when I think about it logically, it kind of makes sense because it's so easy to kind of take a picture of somebody now and print it off or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, I went to my niece's wedding a couple of months ago, and Keen was there, but she put little cameras all on the bed on the each table, so we could all like take pictures, like throwaway ones. And like Keen's looking at me, he's like, "How can?" And I'm like, "Oh my God!" So I had to show him, and he was like, "What? You can't see what you're doing?" He's like, "It's like, oh my
Gotta wing
God!"
it.
So,
Yeah.
so let's stick with that. Yep. So again, we got a timeline, and like the kids and the youth of today. Yep. And the way the world is, and the way that things used to be, and the way addiction treatment, yep, hasn't changed. It's like kind of catching up to the world that we live in. Okay, so just to give you an example, this instant gratification, taking photos of everything, posting something on social media when you're pissed or something, yeah, doesn't like, it's there. Yeah. I think there's like we need to be aware as well that even though things haven't really changed much, the environment has changed.
Mm.
So it's like you're trying to say that like with lived experience is kind of moving along because years ago it was just the doctors and the nurses and the professionals and then the
So
timeline.
the way the clinic used to be, yeah,
Mm.
is the people would come into treatment and they'd have no phone access, and there was a phone box in the clinic that people could phone once a week, their families. Yeah. And in the week that they weren't talking to their families, they were able to build some sort of resilience and get
Mm.
used to it. Yeah. Nowadays, when people come in, yep, they've been living with their cell phones. They've grown up with cell phones. If you take someone's cell phone away from them, it actually freaks them out more. And then they can't engage in treatment because they're worrying about what's happening in the outside world, people. And you've also got a barrage of family members and people wanting to know what's going on. So we had to change the way that we do treatment. There was a whole lot of people who say, no, you've got to take away the phones, you've got to do this, you've got to do that. And the real kind of like trying to imprison people, for want of a better word,
Mm.
yep. And actually that was causing more trauma
Mm.
that the people couldn't engage in the recovery process.
Yeah.
So one of the important things about being a recovery coach is to meet your client or whatever it is where they're at. Yeah. Okay, so we're here today. Great. Da, 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 da. Oh, you arrived half an hour late for your meeting. No problem. Yeah. I've no idea what happened, but I'm here. Yep, I've been here for half an hour and welcome, and we'll just still finish at the same time or something. just to, so the professional part of us is to show up in a role that is strengths based. Yep, sees the person as being well, no matter what stage they're in. That shares their lived experience in a way that's going to promote change and advocacy for change around what recovery looks like for that individual. There's a whole lot of people that will say this is what recovery looks like, and then they want to project onto, oh yeah, they got a good recovery, oh they got a bad recovery, something like that. Yeah. Sorry, did you want to say something? We go,
No, I just got sorry, my throat.
cough away, it's fine.
I'm fine now.
Good. How's the smoking going?
I don't smoke, I vape.
My new theory is if you want to stop vaping, start smoking.
Oh, I can't. Stinks.
Exactly. That is the point. I would see these kids now, like when I was at school, people smoked, but not many people because everyone was scared that mum and dad would smell it. So it was like, a few tearaways and maybe a bag now and again. But the majority of people wouldn't do it because they were so scared they'll get caught. Whereas now it's like every child's vaping. Not every child, that's probably a bit of OTT, but I'd say more children at school vape than would smoke cigarettes.
See,
So I think if you like flipped it round, whereas if you was vaping, for example, now because vapes were brought out to kind of like help people get off cigarettes and this, that, and the other, but I think it's backfired. To get people off vaping, I think they should start smoking Marlboro Reds, to be specific.
when I was I
the
didn't
Spanish
smoke.
ones, the dodgy ones.
I didn't smoke before I went into rehab, and then when I was in rehab, I used to be sitting in the television room by myself, and everything was happening outside. So I was like, "Oh, just give me a vape, and I'll go out and join you then." And that's where the vaping it started from, in bloody in rehab.
You feel better for it though, from giving up instead of smoking cigarettes? Because I smoke cigarettes, is the last thing I need to quit.
No, because I didn't like cigarettes. I don't like. I used to have a cigarette when I had a drink, just to kind of push me over the edge a little bit more. Just gave me that little bit of kind of, right, you're done now. You can go to bed. But I'd never be smoking all throughout the day. But now just vape, I have it all the time. It's driving me crazy. Weird. My family go, "You vaping now?" I go, "I've got to do something, don't I?"
Yeah, could be worse.
Give me a break.
Yeah.
Have you treated anybody for vaping, David? Has anybody approach you about their children vaping or no?
And I'd be the wrong person to approach around that.
Okay.
Because I would go, what's the fucking problem? I would minimize it because I mean I come from a world of like, where I was smoking 20 Camel Plain a day. But I kind of knew that when the vaping's like I'd always say the disease always wins. So if they put it down in nicotine, cigarette smoking, it still pops up in vaping. Yeah. It's like so there's something about kids that need to break away from their parents and do what they're told not to do. Yeah. It's about creating the psychological identity for the child, breaking away from and smoking and doing all the things that you're told them not to do becomes attractive. Yeah. The other thing is a lot of ritual is around addiction stuff. So a lot of people would go to the pub after work to yeah, or go to the pub after a funeral, or fucking go to a wedding and all the so drinking and smoking has a whole social component to it. So Olivia, when you're in rehab and you're sitting in the room by yourself, yeah, and everyone's outside smoking, there's that unconscious peer pressure to, well, I want to be part of the crowd and join them. Yeah. And the way cigarettes used to work, in the past, you go to a party or something, you go outside for a smoke. Here, do you want a cigarette? Yeah, thanks. There was a kind of a cultural ritual, yeah, of like that would help break the ice. And when that goes away, there's still a need for that. Yeah, but nowadays, fucking people stand around and fucking look on their phones waiting for the movie to start or whatever. You know, a lot of people like struggle to engage. There we go. Are you skinning up there, Michelle? Good for you, love.
Not skinning up, it's a roll up.
So yeah, and I mean, these are all the things that need to be taken into account when you're talking about recovery is the culture. Yeah, the culture that someone's moving to can be fucking traumatic. So going to rehab is like having a baby. Yeah. Like, fuck, this person goes in and then they come out and they come out a different person and they go back to the family that hasn't changed. And this person's usually, oh, I'm sorry about this, it won't happen again, and fucking, and our family's made a deal, and again, it's another systemic thing that we need to be aware of. How are we doing for time?
10 minutes left.
All right. So let's start to wrap it up. Did you want to say something, Ross?
Well, I was just going to touch on the sort of the ritual side of things because it all is just one big habit, isn't it? You know, I remember when I first got help with my addiction, Billy said to me, the guy who helped me out, he said to me that, how do you feel like when you're calling up for your drugs and you're like waiting for the drugs? It's like
Oh, the
it's like
anticipation. You want to shit, huh?
yeah. It's like I was like it's the best feeling ever, and he's like, then what about after that? I was like, it doesn't really get better than like the ringing up, the waiting, and then maybe the first line or two, and then it's like, oh fuck. It's like the waiting and like the actual anticipation and is the more of like I don't know, it's like that like you say, the ritual, the habit of rituals, like
And
you know,
that's the
like
addiction part,
spinning.
Ross. That is
Yeah.
the addiction part. That's
Mm,
where the dopamine release is happening because there's a sense of I'm going to be rewarded. But the
mm,
actual event afterwards is often disappointing. Sex addiction's a lot like that. It's the chase, the chase, the chase, the chase, the chase, the chase, the chase. It happens, and then it's like, okay, fuck, I want to get out of here.
mm,
The anticipation of being at work. It's like, oh, fuck, God, my boss is a prick. I can't wait to get to the. Like, can't wait to get to the. Fucking, yeah. You get to the pub, you fucking, and then it's the. Oh, okay.
mm.
You're on the money, mate. You're on the money.
Yeah. I think it is. It's just one big habit. It's like, yeah, you might think the actual substance, alcohol or whatever it is a big part of the problem. I'm not debating that fact, but I think the collective, the ritual, the habit around that or sort of substance that you kind of gravitate towards, whatever that may be, is massive, huge. Yeah,
Yeah, I brought
huge.
that up in my smart recovery and the ketamine, like, how do you feel in the preparation stage? You know, like at the start, like when you're picking up and, you know, all the emotions are coming out. And then I go, oh, how are you feeling afterwards? And the emotions are gone. I was like, yeah, so it is kind of the ritual, isn't it?
Yeah, a lot of people I've supported to come off of drugs as well. Do you know what they found harder than coming off of being abstinent from the drugs is being able to go in town and pay for something in a shop. It was like they're like, well, I can give the drugs up, but why can't I go into a shop and just pay for something? Because it was so entrenched in their daily routine that that's what they had to do, that it felt weird. They've taken the drug away, but there was still so many of the other parts that were still there, and that they found it really difficult to go into a shop and actually pay for something as opposed to just walking out with it. So that was really hard to crack with some of the guys and girls.
That dopamine hit from like stealing and like getting a buzz, like, oh, I've got away with
And
this,
even with a
whatever it may
joint, it's
be.
the whole process, isn't it, of rolling it? Because I say to some
Mm.
people, well, you can put it in sweets because they're like, oh, I've got CPOD. And they're like, oh, no, I don't. No, I'm like, right. So it's not just the cannabis. You like to actually roll it. You like the whole routine of doing it. So I think there's so much to addiction that we always look to the drug, but there's so much more in the behaviour that needs unpicking and help.
Yeah. Such a great
Talking
point.
about structure and routine,
Yeah.
this is where we start to come to the end of the container and start to shut down and close it. So we have the ritual of checking in, contracting, building the container, seeing what's going to emerge. We have a break, and then we come towards the end. And at the end of the container, you want to find out what action is there that you're going to take to move you forward. Yeah. So it's forwarding the action and deepening the learning. So Ross, what's your action for this week?
My action for this week is working on some structure. I was
Great.
saying to the girls when you was on your call before, just about like I'm doing these on a Tuesday, I'm turning up and I'm wanting to learn, and but the actual like structure behind creating my hours of the coaching isn't there. So it's like, well, I'll get to the end of the course online, the theory, I'll get to my 20 hours of the Tuesdays, but then I'll have to do like 60 hours of coaching, and I'm just like, I should be managing to squeeze it all together and kind of have it side by side in the same path. So for me, definitely, like, I'm going to work on the structure and managing that time.
If you want to start coming on a Thursday morning as well, I'm happy for you to join.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I can, I will for sure. Yeah, I will.
Yeah. Cool. All right. How are you checking out?
Lighter. And yeah, inspired. Yeah.
Cool.
I'll pass on to you,
So
David.
before I go, Olivia, what's your action?
To go through my structure and see am I doing it right, or if I can change anything about
Okay,
it.
it's a fucking stupid idea. You're doing it right. You're doing it right.
Yeah, but I go over and over.
Yeah. No, that's holding you back. That's not going to get you to shine, Olivia. I want to kind of coach you and challenge you to kind of just step out and fucking do it. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
looks like Marcus has come to check out.
He's at the conference.
Hello, Marcus.
Hello.
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 Do you want to get out of there yet?
I'm just sat in the quiet room. It's so busy, and I'm not good with crowds.
Oh,
So
yeah, I know that feeling.
it's
We just
horrible.
check out, Marcus.
Yeah, I just thought I'd check in and check out and say hello because I don't get to pin each other down very often. So
Cool.
Thanks for introducing me to these guys, Marcus.
So, Olivia, you were in the middle of.
sorry.
No, don't say sorry. It's absolutely fine. Just
Well, this next step in my to-do list is to coach Marcus for 15 minutes.
great. Okay,
And for
that's
him, and then he can coach me for 15 minutes. And
great.
then,
And how was the group you did yesterday? Did you do group yesterday with Emma?
yes, yeah.
Good. Okay. Right. Good.
And Pablo was on there. And then Pablo came on the evening one, and he actually took his camera down and showed us who he was. Because I said to him, why don't you show us your face? And then he did for about 5-10 minutes.
Okay. Well, good for you. All right.
So that's
So, Marcus, you want to check in? How you doing, mate? And then I'll
Checking in, overwhelmed, but it's powerful stuff. Some of the talks that we've just had is really good. So just waiting to go into a breakout room. And yeah, next topic. Good stuff.
Cool. All right.
Yeah.
Michelle, what's your action?
Oh,
Do you want to come back?
oh, definitely. If you will have me, please.
Okay.
I'm going into work to look at what support we've got for our lived experience people. That's what I'm going to do at 4 o'clock today.
Okay, good. All right. And how are you checking out?
I feel really positive. It's nice to meet like-minded people. And thank you for sharing, everybody.
Cool. All right. So my action is to try and just fucking get off my anxiety. Yeah, just fucking chill a bit. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. I don't know what, like, it's like when people say, don't be scared, don't be anxious. It's like, fuck, that is so helpful not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only it was that easy, eh?
Yeah. Oh, fuck. But I check out very grateful. And yeah, lovely to see you, Marcus. Even if it is
Yeah.
just for the 10 minutes. We had another guy called Johan jump on at like 11:30, completely randomly. He thought he was doing an online acting
Audition.
yeah, what was it?
Audition.
Audition, yeah.
He had a black and white webcam as well. I thought, is he auditioning for something like, you know, in the 50s or something? I don't know.
He certainly looked it, huh? Yeah. How are you checking out, Marcus?
Yeah, I'm checking out. Grateful for the opportunities and yeah, bit of love because there really is a community that you've built around the Maoni stuff, David, and it's a privilege to be able to invite people into it because it really got the finger on the pulse. So yeah, I'm glad that Michelle fits right in.
Oh,
So yeah. Well, thank everyone. Everyone makes the community. It's not just you, David. Don't get too carried away.
I'm not going to.
Yeah, and I my action is to be less anxious and actually be brave and go strike up some conversations with people because that's why I'm here.
What is the conference again?
So it's make every adult matter. It's a framework that local authorities can adopt to build their wraparound services for multiple disadvantage. So it's a bit like what Sounds was in Red Hill Major. So yeah,
Yeah.
so there's a few Leroys here. There's lots of council workers and
Oh, nice.
external
Marcus,
agencies.
you have brilliant conversations.
Really
These are your people.
All right. I got to go. I got another call. It's 12 o'clock. Lots of love, everyone. See you
Alright,
Thursday.
Thank you.
Bye.
Nice to meet you all.
See you guys.
Bye.
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 Bye bye.